They didn't break you, though they tried with everything they had. Now they are choking on the silence they once laughed at. Chosen one, here is the truth they will never confess. None of their moves were accidents. Every act was sharp, cold, and planned. They believed you wouldn't notice, but you did. And now the silence you held is screaming in their ears like a siren in the dark. Experts confirm something scary. People who hurt others on purpose without guilt never stop until they hit the wrong target. That target was you. Imagine walking down a hall full of mirrors. Each reflection shows you beaten, tired, and misunderstood. Now the glass is cracking, not on your side, but theirs. Their masks are falling, and their fake intentions are exposed for what they were, poison wrapped in smiles. They never showed mercy because they never had it. But here's the twist. The universe they mocked is now striking with precision like lightning guiding a storm. And chosen one, hear this, you're not alone. You're part of something bigger, something that stands for truth and justice. Stay with me because what they did wasn't random. They studied you, they tested you like a game, and when you refused to break, that's when the cruelty grew. They couldn't stand your strength, so they tried to make you doubt it. But here's what they never expected. Your silence wasn't weakness. It was strategy. While they plotted, you observed. While they laughed, you learned. While they thought you were alone, the universe was aligning justice for you. What you faced wasn't bad luck. It was designed to destroy you where no one could see. And yet, you stood tall. That is what haunts them now. You didn't fold. You didn't crumble. You turned fire into fuel. Now life is echoing every lie they told, every trap they set, and it's all bouncing back louder than they imagined. What's happening isn't coincidence, it's consequence. You've stepped into a new phase. Not just healing but awakening. Now you see none of this was random. You weren't chosen to be broken. You were chosen to be built. What they meant for harm became your power. And everything they tried to steal, your light, peace, confidence, is coming back stronger. This isn't revenge. It's balance. The universe never forgets. It remembers every tear you swallowed, every fake smile you endured, every insult you forgave. It repays in full. So let them pretend, let them wear masks, let them whisper. Deep down, they know they showed no mercy. And now mercy is gone from them. Stay focused. Stay calm. Stay ready. Because the tables didn't just turn, they flipped. Every move they make is now under the sky that sees all. The storm is here, and it's not after you. Take a deep breath, chosen one. You've already survived what was meant to kill you. That deserves recognition. If this message speaks to you, mark this moment as the start of their reckoning. And know this, what they did was no accident. What they face now isn't random. The storm is here because justice never sleeps. You'll feel this truth calling you to the end. Let's begin. They didn't slip. They set you up. You weren't caught in their storm, you were the target. They didn't act out of stress or mood. They planned it like a sniper taking aim. They didn't trip into betrayal. They executed it with precision. And they never thought you'd survive. You weren't dealing with careless people. You were dealing with experts in manipulation, masters of chaos. They studied you like a science project, testing reactions, marking triggers. Every silence, every cold stare, every fake smile was part of their plan. People might say maybe they didn't know what they were doing. But deep down, you know they did. You saw how they watched you break, how they shifted blame so smoothly you questioned yourself. That wasn't immaturity. It was warfare, emotional warfare, and you were in the trenches. They had no mercy because mercy would mean seeing you as human. And to them, you weren't human. You were a mirror they couldn't face. So they tried to smash it. They didn't just want to hurt you. They wanted to erase you. They wrote the scenes in their mind before they acted them out. Isolation was a tactic. Humiliation was a move. Gaslighting was the cover-up. They weren't guessing. They were directing a play where you were the villain and they were the victim. And they almost won, until you refused to disappear. You didn't collapse. You hardened. They wanted cracks. They created armor. You didn't survive the storm. You became it. And now their lies are catching fire because the universe saw everything. You weren't the fool. You were the test, and they failed. Real power is quiet. It endures. It waits. And when it strikes, it never misses. Now they're the ones living in silence, not peaceful silence, but the kind that screams at 3 a.m. They thought your silence was weakness, but it was a warning. And now the collapse is here. They can't escape what they built. Ask yourself this: if it wasn't planned, why did it repeat? Why did they always know where to cut? Why did apologies never match the damage? Because this wasn't a mistake. It was a mission. They didn't believe you'd rise. They assumed you'd stay broken. But chosen ones don't stay buried. We rise. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment you thought it was over, it was fuel. Now you're the fire they can't outrun. They made moves without mercy. Now they feel what that's like. They thought what goes around comes back quietly. They were wrong. It comes back multiplied. Let them whisper, let them pretend, but the reckoning has started. You're not here for revenge. You're here for truth, for justice, for the balance the universe always brings. Don't explain what you went through. You lived it. That's all the proof you need. This wasn't a slip. This was war. And they lost. They smiled while destroying you. They dressed cruelty as care. That's what made it dangerous. The worst monsters don't hide in shadows. They hide behind charm. They turned manipulation into art. A performance so silent no one else could see. It felt invisible, but it was real. They didn't rage. They drained you, bit by bit. They designed confusion to make you doubt yourself. But it wasn't you. It was them. They used your empathy as a weapon, your silence as a green light. They wore masks in public and sharpened knives in private. And now their perfect image is cracking. They're shaking, not because they're sorry, but because they're exposed. The show is over. And you? You're glowing with truth. They underestimated you. Now they've lost everything: control, power, access. And karma? It's not revenge. It's correction. They dug this grave with their own hands. And now they fall into it. Chosen one, lean in closer because this next part will pierce through the fog of every doubt they planted inside you. Listen carefully, the storm wasn't random, and neither was your survival. You didn't just stumble through the fire, you were tempered by it. Everything they used to crush you has become the steel in your spine. They don't want you to realize this truth because once you do, their power disintegrates like dust in the wind. They built their kingdom on whispers, illusions, and shadows, thinking truth would never find its way in. But here's the cosmic law they ignored: darkness can delay the light, but it can never defeat it. And now the light is cracking through every lie they sealed with their smiles. The walls they thought were permanent are collapsing, and guess what? You're not the one standing in the rubble, they are. Let me take you deeper into the psychology of what happened. People who thrive on control often feed on your uncertainty. They need you to second-guess yourself because confidence is their enemy. If you ever wondered why they switched so fast from sweet to silent, from warm to ice, it was a tactic, a psychological chokehold. Intermittent reinforcement. A system designed to hook you like an addict craving the next high of approval. And you felt it, didn't you? That ache in your soul, wondering, what did I do wrong? But hear this, you did nothing wrong. They engineered the confusion because clarity would have set you free. Now, here's the irony they never saw coming: their manipulation became your education. Their cruelty became your curriculum. Every silent treatment taught you resilience. Every insult taught you to validate yourself. Every time they tried to erase you, you wrote your existence in deeper ink. They turned you into a scholar of human behavior, and now you hold the playbook they thought was exclusive. Let's talk about their fear. Not guilt, fear. Because guilt transforms, but fear hides. That sudden politeness? Those awkward check-ins? That fake remorse? It's not an apology, it's an alarm bell. They sense the shift. They feel the energy turning like a tide. And here's the thing about tides, you can't stop them with sandbags of lies. Truth moves like water, slow but unstoppable, carving canyons through the strongest rock. Imagine this, a stage where they were once the star. The lights loved them. The crowd believed every line. But now the script is burned, the spotlight's on their cracks, and the audience? Oh, the audience is awake. And there you are, standing in the wings, not seeking applause, just radiating truth so powerful it drowns out every rumor they spread. And chosen one, let me remind you of something sacred. Your survival wasn't just for you. It was for everyone who's still trapped in their silent war. Every word you speak now, every boundary you set, every time you choose healing over hiding, you're breaking chains for someone else. That's why this message matters. That's why the universe kept you breathing when everything tried to suffocate you. You are not just a survivor. You are a signal, a lighthouse for souls lost in storms they can't name yet. And here's the part they can't touch, your evolution. Because evolution is permanent. Once you see, you cannot unsee. Once you learn, you cannot unlearn. They can spin stories, but they can't erase your clarity. They can smear your name, but they can't rewrite your spirit. And that terrifies them because control only works in the dark, and you've become pure light. So stay ready, chosen one. Stay rooted. The tables didn't just turn, they're rotating like a hurricane, and the eye of that storm is justice. Watch it unfold, not with vengeance in your heart, but with gratitude in your soul. Because what they meant for harm became the making of a warrior. A warrior who fights not with fists, but with truth, with endurance, with a silence so loud it shakes the foundations of their false empire. And let this echo in every corner of your mind: you were never prey. You were always the storm.